So welcome everybody, neighbors, friends, family, members of the Squamish and Tsleil-Waututh Nations, members of the public, supporters of Rotary, distinguished guests, honorable mayors, members of parliament, and members of the Legislative Assembly. Thank you specifically to Chris Lewis of the Squamish Nations and Robbie George of the Tsleil-Waututh Nation. We're thankful to be living and working on the traditional, unceded and ancestral lands of the Coast Salish people and of the Tsleil-Waututh Nations. Welcome and happy July 1st. Thank you for joining us today. Again, my name is Stan Van Workens and I'm the president of the Rotary Club of Lionsgate. The Rotary Club has been organizing this event for the last 30 years. Today, we're in a different location. And so many aspects of life have changed for us over the past 2.5 years. Today is the time to reflect as a community together with each other and see how we can help others who need it most. Today we have 3 different areas. We have entertainment, we have the emergency aid area, and we have the young artists at work. I really encourage you to visit the areas and support where you can. Through the afternoon, we'll have a few more surprises and they will take place in the water. The tugboats will do a little tugboat ballet for you. And the fire guys are helping us to stay safe as well. If you require any assistance, see the Rotary guys in the blue shirts. They can answer your questions. If you would like to know more about us, you let us know. A special thank you to the partners who support us year-round. Heritage Canada, North Vancouver Recreation and Culture, the Port of Vancouver, Cadence Raymond James Financial Group, the Shipyard, Western Stewarding, Neptune Terminals, C-SPAN, and CIBC. A special thank you to all the Rotary volunteers. Wish you a safe and happy celebration. Thank you.
Bienvenue, voisins, amis et familles, membres de la nation Squamish et de la nation Tsleil-Waututh, membres du public, sympathisants du Rotary, invités distingués, maires honorables, députés, membres de l'Assemblée législative. Merci Chris Lewis de la nation Squamish et Robbie Thomas de la nation Tsleil-Waututh. Nous sommes reconnaissants de vivre et de travailler sur les territoires traditionnels, nos cédés et ancestrales Salish, la nation Squamish et la nation Tsleil-Waututh. Bienvenue. Joyeux 1er juillet et merci de nous joindre aujourd'hui. Je m'appelle Stan Van Workens et je suis le président du Rotary Club de Lionsgate North Vancouver. Le Rotary Club de Lionsgate North Vancouver organise les festivités du 1er juillet depuis de 30 ans. Aujourd'hui, nous sommes dans un endroit différent et comme tant d'aspects de la vie ont changé pour nous tout au cours des 2 dernières années et demie, aujourd'hui est le moment de réfléchir en tant que communauté, les uns les unes les autres et voir comment nous pouvons aider ceux et celles qui en ont besoin. Nous avons 3 zones créées pour vous, avec de la musique et des divertissements sur Kate's Deck, d'une zone d'aide d'urgence et de secours en cas de catastrophe sur St. Rush Landing, y compris les activités familiales amusantes. Et assurez-vous d'aller voir le jeune artiste au travail sur le Burrard Dry Dock. Tout au long de l'après-midi, nous aurons quelques autres surprises pour vous qui seront annoncées. Si vous avez besoin d'aide, veuillez contacter l'un des bénévoles du Rotary aux chemises bleues. Tout cela n'est pas possible sans nos partenaires et bénévoles. Un merci spécial à tous les bénévoles du Rotary Club Lionsgate, North Vancouver, les dames et les messieurs en chemise bleue. Profitez de votre temps ensemble.
Welcome, Chris Lewis of the Squamish Nation.
Atsquatinoya, Siam, Siai Chinquamentomiop, Si Toktin, Kwashamansna, Nata, Skahot Mishokamel. Just opening in one of the original languages of this land, saying it's great to see each and every one of you, respected relatives, honored guests, friends and relations. My ancestral name is Sitoktin, as was mentioned. My English name is Chris Lewis. I am a member of the Squamish Nation, and I just really want to thank the Rotary Club for putting on this beautiful event and having it here where there's so many people and so much live music. On behalf of the Squamish people and the Squamish Oath, we want to welcome you to Sialtuk. Can everyone say Sialtuk? I can't hear you. Sialtuk. Sialtuk is the place of the location of the foot of Lonsdale. It means a pretty little white house. And it's a testament to kind of first contact and also our connection to this place. We also have a village of Slahan. Can everyone say Slahan? I can't hear you. Slahan? Now that's our village right on the other side of the Lonsdale Quay, known as Mission Ire Number 1 or Oslahan. The Squamish word of it is Slahan. And that is one of our sentinel villages. And why it's so important to us is in 1791, the Spanish ships came into the harbor. And right behind me was the place of first contact with the Squamish people. And in the year after, Captain Vancouver came, and we had first contact with the first European English explorer, I guess you would say. The reason I bring all of this history out is because it's not only Squamish Nation history, it's all of your history. And as we celebrate Canada Day and 155 years of what we know as Canada, I want to remind you all that there's a history that goes far deeper of the original peoples here that brings richness, brings additional culture and history to this place. I'll let the helicopter go by. But it's your history, and as we celebrate Canada today, I encourage you all to learn a little bit more about the local Indigenous history. If it's a place name, you learn 2 new place names today. And as we move forward in an era of reconciliation, as we start to uncover the truth of the Indigenous history of this country called Canada, we want to ensure that all of you feel like you belong in that conversation around reconciliation and Indigenous peoples, because we only make this country better by all of us sitting in the same canoe, sitting down at the same table, and celebrating our diversity and our richness and who we are as human people, because we are all connected as human people. And with that, I want to wish you a great day. And I will sing, once the helicopter goes away, I will sing a song from Chief Ray Naturo. It's a feast song, and the words that I'm going to say in the song are saying I'm great to see everybody here today, and we want you to come in and feast and sit down and celebrate and tell stories. And Mr. Cates came over from North Vancouver and helped us get our belongings over into Slahan. So we have a deep connection as Squamish people to the Cates family, and we want to recognize that kinship and friendship at this time. And welcome to Sialtuk, the place of the little white beautiful house. And if you can think of this area as, this is all kind of infill now, it was loaded with clam beds. So we would come here and harvest clams to sustain us, amongst other things. There was also a petroglyph of a mountain goat tying us to the mountains, and hence why I'm wearing my regalia of a headband. Traditionally, this would be made out of mountain goat wool, so I thought I would wear it to signify that connection to that petroglyph that used to be here in this location, showcasing the beautiful Nook Sultan, which is a mountain goat in our language. So Osiam, I'll sing a song and then I'm going to pass it over to my brother Robbie from Sasleuto. Osiam. Happy Canada Day. Have a great day, everyone. Chinquementomi.
Being with us.
Hey, ma se to snokwa. Hey, ma se to snokwa. Selchwen tomos. Selchwen tomos. Snokwan. Mechek ya to squayo. Mechek ya to squayo. Oy besas. Oy besas. Snokwan. Hey, ma se to snokwan. Hey, ma se to snokwan. Selchwen tomos. Selchwen tomos. Snokwan. Mechek ya to squayo. Mechek ya to squayo. Oy besas. Oy besas. Snokwan. Hat squail slansanai ex se weka. Mechap boys to slout oath ex cult mished milk. Archin quimbantum to squail. Qua squail tis sits Canada squail. Just saying good day everyone. ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to our traditional territory. Just a brief translation of the song that I shared. It's saying, welcome to the sun, and also giving thanks to today. So again, welcome. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. Chayapa. Thank you.
And it is a great pleasure that I introduce our Member of Parliament, John Wilkinson. We have the two mayors here, Linda Buchanan and Mike Little. We have the MLAs, Mo and Ba and Grace. Susie, I should say. My apologies, Susie. So thank you very much for being here again. So Jonathan, please come up. Thank you so much for being with us. Jonathan Wilkinson.
Thank you very much. Good afternoon, everyone. Bonjour tout le monde et bonne fête du Canada. Happy Canada Day. I do want to just start by acknowledging that this event is taking place on the traditional, ancestral, and unceded territories of the Musqueam, the Squamish, and the Tsleil-Waututh First Nations. Canada Day is an important time to celebrate our sense of belonging and to recommit ourselves to those values. Openness, equality, fairness, freedom, inclusivity, and diversity that define what it means to be Canadian. In a world where these values are increasingly under threat, affirming these in our words and in our actions as individuals, as communities, and as governments is more important than ever. At the same time, today is also a day to take a moment to contemplate and reflect on all aspects of Canada's history. The words that I began with, the land acknowledgement that we are living and working on the traditional territories of Indigenous peoples, reminds us that we cannot ignore some of the darker parts of our past. Our focus on reconciliation with Indigenous peoples in this country remains a priority that we must and we shall work towards today and every day. The past 2 years have obviously been extremely difficult for all Canadians. In late 2019, no one could have predicted that we would find ourselves living through the greatest public health crisis in a century, grappling with all of the attendant consequences that this brought, from lockdowns and supply chain issues to physical distancing, isolation, and of course the loss of friends, family, and loved ones. But throughout this pandemic, we have been there for one another, helping our neighbors, supporting small businesses, protecting our most vulnerable, and making decisions to keep our families and our communities safe and healthy. And while there is light at the end of the tunnel, thanks to everyone's Team Canada approach, our resiliency, and our support for one another, we have also seen deepening divisions between neighbors, families, and even friends. These divisions have strained our communities, and this has been reflected in an ever more combative national conversation, especially in and around the political arena. This is a situation that should not continue. As Canadians, we need to look to what unites us, what brings us together, and what allows us to disagree respectfully with one another. People who hold differing opinions are not our enemies. They are very often our neighbors, our friends, and our family. So on this Canada Day, let us take a moment, let us contemplate our entire history and how the different lived experiences have impacted the meaning that this day holds for each of us. Let us come together to reaffirm our support for the values that unite us, the accomplishments that we have achieved together, and the brighter days that lie ahead. And in a world with many, many challenges, let us also reflect on the fact that even with our issues, we remain the most fortunate people on this planet to live in this beautiful country called Canada. I want to wish all of you, your friends, and your families a very thoughtful, kind, and happy Canada Day. Bonne fête du Canada. Happy Canada Day.
Thank you, Jonathan. And I would like to welcome the Mayor of the City of North Vancouver, Linda Buchanan.
Well, thank you very much, Stan. Good afternoon, everyone. Happy Canada Day. I'm Linda Buchanan, the Mayor in the City of North Vancouver, and I'd like to thank the Lionsgate Rotary Club for inviting me to celebrate Canada Day with you today, and it's my pleasure to welcome you to the City of North Vancouver. I'd also like to begin by thanking, I know earlier we had a drumming session with Squamish and Tsleil-Waututh, and I really want to thank them for starting off our celebrations today in a good way, for welcoming us here and for sharing their drumming with us all. Today and every day, the city is grateful for the opportunity to call the traditional lands of the Squamish and the Tsleil-Waututh nations home. I extend my thanks to those nations for their ongoing partnership with our city on many, many shared priorities. I also want to take a moment to acknowledge a few of my colleagues. I know Councillor Bell is somewhere out there in the crowd, and so thank you very much, Councillor Bell, for joining us. And I didn't see any other of my councils, but if you're here, thank you so much for joining us. As well, Mayor Mike Little from the District of North Van, MP Wilkinson, you've heard MLA Bowen Ma, and Susie Chant. Thank you all for joining and taking time with us today. Canada Day. I think the ballet is about to start. Canada Day always brings back memories of being with my own children down at Waterfront Park, and I am so glad to see these festivities are now here at the Shipyards, where people of all ages can gather, connect, and celebrate. As Minister Wilkinson acknowledged as well, these past 2 years have been very difficult for all of us, but for some it's been even harder than we can even imagine. I have never been more proud of our community for how we've come together to support one another through the pandemic, the overlapping extreme weather events, and many more things that happened to us over these last 2 years. It is through generosity, patience, and kindness that we define what it means to be Canadian today. I hope that today is filled with fun, dancing, music, and new friends. I also hope today is a day of reflection and a day to look to our shared future with optimism as we consider the potential we have to be a better community and country for future generations. Before I turn the mic back, I want to thank the Lionsgate Rotary Club for organizing again today's events. Celebrations such as today's have been missing from our community over the past 2 years, and I am so grateful to be here and welcome you all and to see all of you out there today. Have a fantastic Canada Day. Enjoy today's festivities. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Linda. And we have up next Mayor Mike Little from the District of North Vancouver.
Thanks, Dan. See you. Yeah, thank you so much. What an amazing, beautiful day, and what a setting, what a place to view this community from. It's such a pleasure to be here. First, I want to thank the Rotary Club of Lionsgate for all the work they do throughout the year to prepare for these events and welcome the community out. We very much appreciate all of your efforts. And all of the people that make this happen, the sound people, the organizers, the parks people, streets people who clean everything up, you do an amazing job and we really appreciate it. I wanted to mention today, it was kind of cool to see the Navy vessels out here today, and one of the pieces in our national anthem, there's a phrase that says, "We stand on guard for thee." And I just want to say there's so many people out there. I believe that every Canadian in an emergency, in a pandemic, is going to do what they need to do to try to help out their neighbors. But there's something very special about the people who set out to train and prepare and be there for us when we have an emergency occur. So I wanted to take a moment just to say a special thank you to the HMCS Edmonton crew and all of the Navy forces that are out here today. It's really appreciated. On behalf of the District of North Vancouver, have a fantastic Canada Day and thank you all for coming out.
Thank you, Mike Little. And now we have our MLAs, Moen Ba and Susie Chant. Come on up, ladies.
Bonjour, salam bahmagi, kamusta, annyeonghaseyo, daja hao, dzień dobry. Do you know any, Susie?
Not at all.
There's so many different ways to say hello everyone here in this beautiful country of Canada. It's a wonderful day for us to all gather to celebrate Canada Day, but also to reflect on our commitment to reconciliation with Indigenous peoples as well. My name is Bowen Ma. I serve as the MLA for North Vancouver Lonsdale, right in this area, and as the Minister of State for Infrastructure, and I'm joined here on the stage by my colleague Susie Chant, who represents North Vancouver Seymour. Now, we have a lot of people to thank for being able to gather here today. Above all, of course, all of you for keeping each other safe throughout the pandemic so that we can actually come back together and be a community. But I also want to acknowledge the Lionsgate North Vancouver Rotary Club for the incredible work that they have done to bring our community together, not only this year, but over the last 30 years. And to help recognize that, we would love to present Lionsgate North Vancouver Rotary Club with a small token of our appreciation. Stan, do you think you could come back up and accept this?
Absolutely, I could come back up. That is so nice. Thank you so
Sweet. Glad to see everybody. Glad everybody's here. Thank you so much for being part of our community, and welcome. Happy Canada Day.
Allá en el rancho grande, allá donde vivía, había una rancherita que alegre me decía, te voy a hacer los calzones. Como los que usa el ranchero, de los comienzos de lana, de los sacados de cuero, allá en el rancho.
City Advisor.
Okay, well, thank you. This one out.
Fantastic. Nothing gets better than a little reggae on a hot afternoon. So thanks mostly Marley for bringing a bit of Jamaica to us. Now just while our next band gets set up, just wanted to say a couple of things. And as you know, we can't put on these types of community events without our great sponsors, our community partners who really help us out. So I'd just like to make note of our bronze and our event partners. So if you're out and you're looking for somebody to patronize, we really appreciate if you give a little business their way. Berman Notary Corporation, Pacific Coastal Mortgage Group, Remax Crest Realty, Comfort Keepers, OK Tire and Elite Body Shop, the Cooperators for all your insurance needs, Adaptive Marketing. I know a lot of us need some storage at this point, so Econo Moving and Storage. eSonic, who's doing our wonderful music and production today. JAI Events, North Shore Chamber, North Shore Daily Post, the North Shore News, North Shore Sports Medicine, and Vancouver's Best Places. So we really thank all of them for being here. But I really want to just highlight Elephant Ears Entertainment and Melanie Decker, who many of you know as a artist in her own right, has very kindly helped us put together this lineup of musicians today. So fantastic. So it won't be long now before we switch over to our last band. But in the meantime, I know that Rotary is serving some beautiful Canada Day cupcakes. all across. So we've got some up at the front desk, some over by the Pier 7 pier where all of the emergency services and first aid stuff is, and there's also some over on the dry deck where all of our artists are. So enjoy a little bit of Canada Day, a little bit more on Rotary.
All right, this is the last song, folks. We're glad you warmed up. I'm going to send you out with this last one by none other than Bob Marley. We're feeling the love. This song expresses it. Could you be loved and be loved? Don't let them fool you. Or even try to school you. Oh no. We've got the mind of our own. So and if what you're thinking is not right, love will never leave us alone. I guess the darkness, it must come out tonight. Could you be loved and be loved? Could you be loved? Oh, now and be loved. Hey! Could you be loved? 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 The road of life is rocking and you may stumble too. So while you're on your finger, someone else is judging you.